κεῖνόν ἰθάκηνδε ἰδοίατο νοστήσαντα πάντες ἀρησαίατ ἐλαφρότεροι πόδας ἐῆναι ΑΦνειότεροι χρυσοῖό ἐσθῆτός νυντομενός ΑΠόλωλε κακόν μόρον οὐδέ της ἐμήν θαλπωρή υπέρ της ἐπιχθονίων ἀνθρώπων φήσιν ἐλεύσεσθαι του ὤλετο νόστιμον ″ Okay, so if they, can I say could? I want to say if they could see him, if they could just see him making a homecoming to here in Ithaca, if they could just see him, κεῖνόν, then they all would utter a prayer. They would make a big prayer. They would pray that they be quicker on their feet than they are.
No, the than is in the next line.
Is this weird? Double. You might want to say instead of quicker on their feet instead of ἀφνειότεροι χρυσοῖό.
Yeah, but I'll still stick with because I want to think line by line.
Quicker on their feet than they are. Okay, that works.
And I can still fit in the next one. I swear I can.
Yep, works. So, I see what you want. Yep,
yeah, so they would all just they would get going and pray, ἀρησαίατ, that they be quicker on their feet than they are. Preferring that to being even more rich in gold and in the clothes they wear. In other words, what I'm trying to do is, since there are two comparatives, it's not that I'd rather be more quick than I am now than to be more rich than I am now than right now. First, it's I just really get to, I'd better run away. So that's the first thought. And then the second thought is a kind of a conventional wish that you'd have. Everybody would wish, I wish I were richer than I am now. So I'm keeping the comparison. And yes, it's more important to be quicker to save your life than to be richer and have even more gold and clothing.
Can I offer a slightly different?
Please. I'm not married to this. I'm just.
And I'm thinking of. I don't know who I'm thinking of. Probably Brandeis or something. But the comparative suffix, in words like dexter and sinister, which means to this side and to that side. Yeah. So if you use that idea here, they would all pray to be on the side of quickness of feet. As opposed to the side of, sorry, I'm doing this, very very clunky
you're doing
way.
It exactly right.
Then to be on the side of richness in gold and
yes.
Is there a way we can do that?
I think we
sounds
can.
Like English.
So what the teros is doing is contrasting the two comparatives, effectively.
Well, it's this side and that side.
Yes.
I mean, that's
what I mean. Yeah.
But here's the thing, and the reason that I was looking at this, I thought, gee, I want to have two levels here, and here's what I'm thinking. In Homeric Greek, it's not dexter and sinister where you have ter in both. Here's the way you'd normally do it. If it's right and left, which is a very good example, you say either dexioteros versus skaios. So you only have one comparative and the other one is not comparative. Or you can say skaióteros and versus dexios. So I quite agree with you that it's a question of highlighting one versus the other. And so the other one is not in the so-called comparative. So
you still got something weird here, is what you're saying.
I think this is very weird. So I think there, in that kind of Homeric situation, where you don't have two comparatives but only one, there it's like, I'm talking about the right side, not the left side. And then when you get to the left side, it's just left. But the dexioteros would be right, not left. And then you get to skaios and you say left. Or skaioteros, I'm talking left, not right. But here, it's not mutually exclusive. They're nasty, greedy people. And it's just that for once in their life, instead of thinking, I want to be even more rich than I am already, I better get the hell out of here. and so now quickness is even more important. But in a sense, it's like having your cake and eating it too. You're wishing for both. It's not that one excludes the other. But can I say something about something that I'll forget to say later, which is kεῖνόν?
Yes.
I'm now convinced it's something where you're really trying to foreground somebody that you can't see at the moment.
Right.
And that's why kainos is such an interesting word for epiphanies, because you don't expect to see a God who is a million light years away. And so even when the God appears, you still can't believe it, but you're still talking about the God as if the God were a million light years away. Okay. And so I think that's the situation with kainos. It's really emphasizing the absence, and yet the absent person is so much on the mind of the speaker.
Right. But it's also true that he won't say his name, right?
Which is a generally Odyssean problem.
Yeah, exactly.
When you consider that the beginning of the Odyssey doesn't name Odysseus.
Right. And that's a particular problem for Telemachus too, right?
It's a very big problem. There's that horrible saying, let's see if I can still do it, mama's baby, papa's maybe.
Yeah.
Right, yes.
And that is something he's obsessed with.
Yep.
Yeah, that comes out.
And it sure comes out. It's coming out. So, okay, here I am at 166.
No, don't matter.
Yep.
But anyway, now, I just don't want to say but, because it's so flat. It's not the way English language works. Anyway, now he is dead. Just like that, horse. That's the way I like to do it. It's very deictic. It's so, but now he's dead, just like that. And he has died a bad death. But the death also now has the flavor of a destiny. But he has died a bad,
fate,
destined death. And there is nobody. I'm sorry, no. And there is no, and then we have to spill over to the next line. That's always dramatic. There's no, for us, θαλπωρή, comfort.
Right.
I just can't comfort myself. There's nothing to make me feel better about this. Make me feel warm inside. I think that's the idea of θαλπωρή, feeling warm inside, being comforted. So there's no comfort for, all right, let's say for us. There's no for us comfort. But I love the way you have, let's use the $10 word, enjambment, the spillover from one line to the next. There's no comfort for us. Even if somebody, and this is already hinting, is I don't want to hear this again. I've heard it too many times. Even if somebody from among humans who are earthlings, even if some earthling says that he will come. And I think it's not just come, he will make a comeback. He will, ἐλεύσεσθαι, I think, has a ritual dimension, which is why Eleusis is Eleusis.
Right.
So this is not just a homecoming, it's a homecoming that is going back to
fulfilling something.
Fulfilling meaning itself. So, okay, Doug should be doing this, but here it is.
No.
His day of homecoming is gone for good. ὤλετο.
ὤλετο.
ὤλετο, gone for good.
Perished.
And here I think I want to apply Bucker's law. Bucker says that if there is augment, and here the long vowel guarantees augment.
Right.
If there's augment when somebody's talking, then you better translate it in English with the auxiliary verb have.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, but his day of homecoming has been undone.
Right.
So it's a perfect in the English sense of perfect,
Mm-hmm.
and in Greek, this happens, well, in Homeric diction, in the Greek of Homeric diction only, it happens to follow Bucker's formulation that an augment with an aorist gives a perfective sense, but only in conversation, only in quoted conversation, not in narrative.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is Exhibit A here.
If it's the
It
the
fits.
case.
It really fits his formulation.
right.
It's got to be over with here. Yep. That's the whole
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
And you got the other perfect there, ἀπόλωλε.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
The perfect, right.
Yeah.
That's where it's dead and gone.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's what it is. It's his day of homecoming is gone.
Gone.
It has been
Yeah.
undone.
And isn't this nice characterization of Telemachus? Because this is his whole state of mind, right?
It really
He's given
is.
up.
Yes, he's given up, and
Yeah.
the thαλπωρή.
Yeah.
There is no thαλπωρή, and that's exactly what Athena is there to
To
take care of.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what a wonderful person to take care of. Take care of this.
But to have him say it, to express
Oh,
it,
I love
you
it.
get
Yeah.
exactly where he is.